I'm so glad you mentioned attentiveness because I wanted to ask you what does it mean to listen and what is involved in being attentive? It comes up in acting many times. I know you've talked many times to students about how they listen. What does it mean to really listen or to be attentive?
In terms of meditation, it's different than in acting.
I'm interested in both, actually, or
Okay.
maybe what the difference is in that.
In acting, I'm listening with a condition. You say to your girlfriend or your wife or whomever, "Do you love me?" And you're listening with a condition. And the condition is you are hoping they say yes, and I love you more than anything. If they go, yeah, I love you, you're going to be slightly disappointed. So you're listening with a structured condition. And that's actually in meditation, as you get insights into the danger of thought, as an artist, as an actor, you understand that construct. And you can then utilize that construct and have lots of fun with it, because you know that you're doing what people are doing on the planet all the time, but it's real, and yet it's make-believe at the same time. Listening in meditation means no condition. It means listening, when you're in the woods and you're listening to the birds chirping, when the wind blowing through the leaves, you're just listening. There's no condition, there's no judgment, there's just an attentiveness to what is going on. So there's a high energy because there's no inner conflict. We lose energy when there's an inner conflict. When there's no inner conflict, then there's high, boundless energy, because the universe, if I can use that word, is infinite energy. It's infinite energy, and I dissipate that energy when I'm in conflict. I dissipate the energy when I'm fighting and judging and all the rest of that stuff. But if that's not going on, and you're in a meditative action, if you will, there's infinite energy because there's no conflict.
So I want to be the opposite of it. I want to be in conflict when I'm on stage, when I'm listening with a condition.
Yes.
As the actor.
Yes, because all drama, all comedy, all theater, all storytelling is about fallen man, if you will. It's all about human beings who are caught up in their desires. And there are things that they want, that they believe are going to make them happy. And if I can accomplish that, I'm going to be happy and stave off death and live happily ever after, forever and ever. Yes, so all theater, all storytelling is that. If I understand deeply outside of theater, if I understand deeply the whole illusion of what we call reality on this planet, it's very easy then to thoroughly immerse myself in the game of make-believe in terms of acting.
Once I understand the structure from
Yes,
another
because it's no different. It's no different than what's going on all the time in life. I believe in things, and because I believe in it, I function as if it's so. The illusion, for example, is that you are so many feet away from me, that you have a kind of a light pink shirt on, and so on and so forth. That's not out there. It's all happening in the photons are moving into my iris, moving to the back of my brain, and there's a chemical, an electromagnetic chemical happening, if you will, in the back of my brain, in a tiny, tiny little space, and it forms into an image. There is no such thing as an image out here, or any of the senses for that matter. It's all happening in here. And so this appears to be real, but it's an illusion. There is no, when you go deeper, there's no space, there's no time. And that's not just a theoretical thing, that's a fact. And it's very hard for the mind to get around that because it's so accustomed to space and time because we live in the illusion of space and time. And it has its place, because once you see it's an illusion, you understand it's an illusion.
I think someone would say this is how you get self-involved actors, right? The danger of it's all about me, but that's not quite what you're talking about.
No, actors that are filled with ego are very, very limited, and you can see right through them. You take put a dog on stage with that actor, the dog will outact the actor. Why will a dog or a little child, a 3-year-old, outact a professional actor with technique and all the rest of it? Because they're totally in the purity of now.
And when adults try to train for acting, there's a lot of emphasis on emotional memory and dwell on what comes up for you. All these different techniques.
There are many superficial techniques. Freud was the father of psychoanalysis, but psychoanalysis has come a long, long way since then. And Stanislavski was the father of methodology, acting method. And acting has come a long way from there. There is an emphasis in acting on the sensory reality, but it doesn't go deeper than that. It focuses on the sensory reality, focuses on what's called in acting inner objects. There's an external object and an internal object. But really, you're happening internally inside of me right now. You may seem to be so many feet away, 5 feet away, but you're happening inside of me right now. So right now you are an object in my consciousness, so to speak. And in fact, my body is an object in my consciousness, and the thoughts that I'm having right now are objects in my consciousness. And so the big question is, what is this thing we call consciousness? And science is attempting to go into that particular matter. And science has come up with what they consider to be a fact, which may very well be a fact, is that the atom is 99.999, 12 nines after that, space. And that the nucleus of the atom, when gone into, is also space, and it's going on and off, on and off, on and off. And science is saying, where does it go when it's on the off? And how can a photon be a particle, and then when not viewed, it's a wave? When consciousness focuses on the photon, it becomes a particle. When not focused on, it becomes a wave. And these are different approaches. And what's interesting, I think, is science is questioning, and there's a kind of a meeting up between ancient understandings, if you will, and science as they go deeper and deeper. But I think good actors, anyone who's worth their salt, is going to question very, very deeply everything. I'm going to question my question. The answer isn't as important as the question, obviously.